Ladies and gentlemen, I give you a warm welcome once again on SLTV Lab. My name is Mr. Shadrach Habumuremi. Today I would like to show you the vertebral column. The vertebral column, it is part of the skeletal system that makes up the back of all animals called the vertebrate. And that is where those animals get the name vertebrate, because they have the vertebral column. So that vertebral column, it's made up of bones that are like the pillars of the whole body, especially the trunk, especially on human beings. And that is what we are going to see today. We are going to see the vertebral column of a human being. Good. This is the vertebral column of a human being. This is how it looks like. Good. The vertebral column is made up of bones, as I have said. Those bones are called the vertebrae. Do you get me? The bones are called the vertebrae. They make up the vertebral column. And you remember, all animals called the vertebrate, they have the vertebral column. Good. Now, the vertebral column of a human being has the regions. The first region here is the cervical region. This is the cervical region. The cervical region is the one posterior to the neck. That is the cervical region. And it's made up of 7 bones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That is the first region. And you wonder, how can you locate the cervical region? Good. There is a bone here, let's call it the landmark. The 7th vertebrae of the cervical region is more prominent than all the bones. And it is superior to the first thoracic. And the first thoracic is the one that articulates with the first rib, which means just superior to the articulation of the first rib is the cervical region up to the head. Good. And these cervical vertebrae, these two, the first two have their names. The first one is called atlas. The second one is called axis. Atlas, axis. And they have a joint between them. It's called atlantoaxial joint. Atlas and axis. And this joint is the one that allows what we call no movement. No movement is side rotation of the head. When you turn the head side to side while saying no. So it takes place at the atlantoaxial joint. Good. The atlas also articulates with the head. Good. Do you get it? At what we call the occiput, and the joint is called atlanto-occipital joint, is the one that allows movement. Movement is when you move your head anteriorly and posteriorly, front and back. Front and back movement, that we call movement. It takes place between the first cervical vertebrae and the head. We call that joint atlanto-occipital joint. Good. Let's leave this vertebrae. Another landmark of this cervical vertebrae, you see, it has the inward curvature. To get me, they have the inward curvature. The technical term is called rhodosis. Rhodosis curvature. Good. Now let's see now the thoracic vertebrae. You remember the cervical are 7. Here the thoracic vertebrae are 12 in number. Now let's count them. Here is first 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. Something very important that you should all know is that every thoracic vertebrae articulates with its corresponding limb. The first thoracic vertebrae you get, it's articulated with the first limb. This is the first limb. The second thoracic vertebrae articulate with the second limb, just and so on, like that. Another thing, very important thing, is that here the thoracic region has a backward curvature, which is the opposite of the cervical vertebrae. The cervical vertebrae has the inward curvature or lordosis. Here there is backward curvature called kyphosis or kyphotic curvature. Good. So when you see someone with like a lordotic curvature of the thorax, you have to know that there is something wrong. Or when you see the kyphotic curvature is very exaggerated, it means there is something wrong. Another thing very important. As you can see, as you move inferior, these bones, they have something pointing outward or posterior. We call them spinous process. Here on the top thoracic vertebrae, the spinous process are pointing posteriorly. But here, they are pointing downward. As you move down, the spinous process points downward. You see here, they are pointing straight, posteriorly, here. But as you move down, you see the spinous process are pointing downward. Then we will see in other video, we will see the character of every region and every bone to see how they are made, how they look like, what their functions. Good. We have said they are 12 in number, and they articulate with their corresponding limb. Good. Now let's see another region, the third region called lumbar area or lumbar region. Once again, there is thoracic region, cervical region or cervical area. There is thoracic region or thoracic area. There is lumbar region. This lumbar region is made up of 5 bones or 5 vertebrae. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good. The character of the region, first, there is a lordosis curvature or the inward curvature, the same as on cervical region. Both cervical and the lumbar region or areas, they have the inward curvature or lordosis curvature. Good. And to know exactly where we can find the lumbar vertebrae, just as you can see, just inferior to the last rib, the 12th rib, the adjacent vertebrae is L1 or the first lumbar vertebrae, and so on. Then the last lumbar vertebrae is the one that articulates with the sacrum. It's another region of the vertebral column. It's called the sacrum. The sacrum. Sacrum is one bone, but it is made up of fusion of 5 bones. It is called the sacrum. It is a fusion of five bones. Good. The sacrum, as you can see, let me show you it clearly to see exactly what happens. Good. As you can see, guys, here is the sacrum. Here first, there is first bone, the second bone, the third, there is fourth and the fifth. All these bones are the ones that make up the sacrum. And below the sacrum, there is another part called coccyx. This is coccyx. This one in a white color, coccyx. This is the coccyx. As you can see, the coccyx also is not one bone, is a fusion of bones. Good. And what I can say, this sacrum is the one that articulates. This sacrum is articulate with the pelvic bones. Do you get me? The pelvic bone articulate with the sacrum, and then the coccyx is like the tail of the vertebral column. Good. Now, in summary, you have to know, first of all, the region of our vertebral column. Do you get me? The region of the vertebral column. First of all, you remember those regions. There is cervical vertebrae. This is the cervical region, the thoracic region, the lumbar region, the lumbar area, the sacral area or sacrum, and then the coccyx at the end. And the vertebral column here is made up of 30 bones, 7, 12, which means there are 19 here, plus 5 of the lumbar, that is 24, plus 5 of the sacrum, that is 29, plus the sacrum, they are 30 in number. Good. Guys, in summary, those are the bones of the vertebral column of a human being. In other videos, we will be seeing each region and characteristic of the specific region and characteristic of the vertebrae. Thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. And please rate the video, share it to your colleagues, and don't forget to press subscribe button if you have not yet subscribed. May God bless you. See you in another video next time. Thank you very much. Don't forget to press like, subscribe, and the bell.